Welcome to Cents, everybody. If you've never listened to us, this is Dollar View's weekly news recap show, kind of like last week's Tonight. Not nearly as funny. Give us a break. We can write our own jokes.
Nowhere near it. We're not
Well,
funny.
they have I pretend I'm funny, and you can laugh if you want. Okay, I laugh at my own jokes. That's all that matters. This is the week ending January 17th, 2016. If you haven't seen us on Facebook or Twitter, we've really revamped our social network, especially in the latter. We tweet a good amount. We want more followers. That means you, if you are a follower, shout at us. We'd really appreciate it. But let's start off with the sad news before we get into entertainment stuff here. We really have to talk about Alan Rickman and David Bowie passing. Both of them were age 69 years old. Pretty sad, especially because it was 3 days apart.
David Bowie passed right after we did our last episode too. Like I was actually editing.
It was during.
To Ziggy Stardust.
I get tweets from Kanye West pushed to my phone, and so he tweeted out his condolences, and I saw it when we were recording. I was like, what? Like it was like 3 different ones or something, so I didn't really read it because I was talking to you, and I got off air. I was like, oh, and I was playing catch up, and it hit me. Whereas Alan Rickman, I was up early because of the Oscar nominations,
and I saw it through your tweet too.
Yeah, like it was weird, like because David Bowie, he just put out a new album, and I'm not gonna say his music of late hasn't been as good as his stuff of the past was, but yeah, like like a lot of people were affected by his death, but I'm not sure how many of them actually listened to Black Star before he died. I know I haven't, even though weirdly enough, I was listening to Ziggy Stardust, the album, just last week actually. Love that album.
I'm not gonna pretend to be a super fan of David Bowie or anything, but I like him well enough.
Well, it still hurts.
I got Ziggy Stardust, and it's sad. I mean, even his movies too. I mostly like The Hunger.
Great actor, The Prestige.
Because that's Tony Scott's first film, but also, The Man Who Fell to Earth. Like Alamo Drafthouse is having a screening of that next month, and I've already got my ticket for that. I'm going to be seeing that again because I haven't seen it since film school. That's a great movie that I'm looking forward to seeing again. I've
never seen. I'm sure
it's so good.
In the coming months or something, I'll check out more of his filmography because he's done a lot of stuff and people are just unaware. Alan Rickman, most people were sad because Professor Snape and Hans Gruber, but we tweeted out Metatron because you'll always have that angel spot, and now he's among the angels. Let's move into...
He was mainly, for a lot of people, at least our age, he's going to be Professor Snape. That's definitely the first that I saw of him.
I'm pretty sure Die Hard was the first movie I saw of his.
I didn't see Die Hard till way late, but yeah, Hans Gruber, man, that's an iconic villain. Metatron 2, though, like, I keep forgetting about
Metatron.
That, but yeah.
Other thing that happened this week, not exactly entertainment, but kind of, the Rams are moving to Los Angeles. And we don't really have much to say here. Yay! I'd like to finally go to an NFL game, but I wonder how long it's going to take Hollywood to remake Heaven Can Wait. And I don't mean the Chris Rock Down to Earth movie from 2000, but an actual movie that has to do with an NFL team in the LA area. Have you seen this movie, Warren Beatty? I think it's 1970 or something.
I saw the Chris Rock version.
That's sad.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that bad.
No, it's not a bad movie, but you should definitely check out that. It's not original. There was a silent era or a black and white, definitely, that was the same story. But him being a player on the Rams is, it's not totally important to the script, but he's on the field at the LA Coliseum, and he's a wacky character, and it's a really interesting movie. Let's get into what you're actually listening for: movies, TV, technology, that kind of thing. Big thing here, we've been talking about Ready Player One a lot. We're talking about virtual reality. Steven Spielberg's directing this movie. There's an open casting call for 3 characters in this coming movie, most notably the protagonist, Wade Watts. I retweeted the link. I believe it's Ready Player One online casting. You can find the tweet itself. You have to be age 18 and 19, but Harry Knowles said if you're 24 younger and you can pull it off, that works too. But they're looking for someone
so that cuts you right off of it.
No, I could do it if I wanted to. It's just I wouldn't shave my facial hair to. I have to imagine there's gonna be millions of people auditioning for this movie, right? And I don't want to risk it and have to shave for a role that I possibly couldn't get. And I can't imagine how different.
Probably, not possibly.
Yeah. I
Sorry to crush on your dreams there.
whatever. I can't imagine how different my life would be if I got cast as the star of a Steven Spielberg
Well,
movie.
you probably have a better chance of winning the Powerball than of getting cast in that.
Probably. I don't know. I'm charismatic.
No, but you know what? Here's a good sign though about that is that they are going after unknowns,
Exactly.
and that's definitely the best thing already. I mean,
They have a lot to go along with this script. I mean, Ben Mendelsohn might be playing the villain. Olivia Wilde, who is the cancer girl from Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, she's playing the love interest slash. Well, we'll just leave it there because I don't want to do any spoilers. So they have some actors in play already, and there's a lot of footwork they have to do in terms of clearing the rights to all the properties that are used, because it's a very meta novel. Like, it references not just a lot of video games, but movies also, and TV and cartoons, and a lot of stuff. Like, the movie, if they do it right, has to open with Dead Man's Party by Oingo Boingo and like a quasi music video type thing. And I'm pretty sure they're going to do that because, it's Danny Elfman. That's not going to be like a big hurdle to jump over. But very much forward looking to this movie. Can't wait to see who they cast. So yeah, if you're listening and you think you can play the part and you're young enough, you should do it because you got nothing to lose. Unless you're me.
and if you do get the part, remember that Dull Reviews inspired you and give us a shout out.
Yeah, wear some.
Just say if you heard it from
glasses.
us.
Yes.
Yeah, help us out.
I only got one tech item here.
Shameless promotion.
Hey, we need it. I only got one tech item here, and so we're going to open with it. There's been rumor for months now that Apple might be leaving behind the headphone jack on the iPhone 7. And there's a lot of people online that are mad about it. There's like, oh, what about all the users? Like, we already have all these headphones. Like, you're gonna make us buy a new one? And at first, people were like, oh, they're gonna release something new that goes through the Lightning port because that's gonna be the proposed only input or output on the system on the phone itself. But the new rumor now is that they're going to be leveraging their Beats name to sell true wireless Bluetooth earbuds. And this is tech that was available on the show floor at CES earlier this month. So I told you off air about the new Bluetooth headset that I got. It has a cord that connects the two earbuds, so you can wear it on the back of your neck when you're not using it, something to hold it on by. But they now have literal wireless earbuds. It's just two circular things that you push in your ears. You got nothing to hold you down. So I think that this is gonna happen. I think a lot of people would be happy about it. The fact that it would be using Beats technology and name would cause a lot of people to pay for it, and the fact that an iPhone is already a ton of money anyway, it probably wouldn't be that big of an increase.
In Apple's defense, you also get they give you headphones when you buy the damn thing, right?
Sometimes,
Like,
yeah.
unless
I don't
that's
know if you
changed
get
now.
them. I think they changed it because, like, I was expecting my fancy top-of-the-line Sony phone to come with them. I got nothing. I didn't even get a SIM card removal
Well, yeah,
too.
that's Sony.
I got nothing.
I'm pretty sure Apple's always done it though, at least in my experience.
I think so. I think they still do, but I can't speak firsthand.
Yeah, I mean, wireless headphones that is the thing. I have not made the conversion to that yet, but that is something I'm seeing around more and more now, especially when people are jogging in the morning. And
it makes sense.
It's progression, and I mean, I'm cool with that. I don't know. I'm not gonna cry about it, but I am used to. There's just something in my mind, that I'm just too used to like plugging it in. That just makes me feel comfortable with it, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's not like they're gonna get rid of it entirely. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, they might. I mean,
they're not giving you the access to it on the phone.
They
That's
have
the
a
start.
long trend of doing this. I mean, they. On one side of the spectrum, they've introduced...
Yeah, like they took away the disk drive.
Exactly.
Right.
Like, they've introduced a lot of stuff in technology, graphical user interface, a mouse. They tried to do FireWire. That didn't last for a long time. Lightning Bolt and Thunderbolt. But yeah, like, they removed the disk drive from their computers in, I think it was 2011, 2012. And a lot of people have followed suit, like, especially on Ultrabooks and Netbooks. So this could just be the next thing, and they're also trying to help out. They were one of the first people to use USB Type-C, which is that fancy one that there is no wrong way to plug it in anymore. So I don't know if the iPhone 7 is going to do this, but I would expect the 7S to. Just because if you just think about this, it's a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, right? to you and me, that doesn't seem like that big a difference, but you can make something a lot thinner if you're not restricted to 3.5 millimeter plus, how many like nanometers above and below it. Plus, that's a little bit more weight. It's more circuits that are being used for a piece of hardware. Something gets stuck in there. I actually got a piece of paper stuck in mine not too long ago. But I definitely think that this is something that's going to happen on phones in the future. And Apple is probably just trying to take the first step to make sure it happens for everyone.
I mean, I think the thing probably that's just nice about headphones now, though, is that, you don't use them for just the iPhone. I got the same headphones that I plug into my computer or that I plug into my TV or, a bunch of other stuff.
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, with your TV, it's not the same. But, I mean, my piece of crap MacBook from 2007 has Bluetooth on it. So I have to imagine any laptop over the last 5 years probably has Bluetooth support as well. And, if you have a tablet, because it's Android or iOS, or Windows too, I guess, if you're on that side of the argument, you're going to be able to use Bluetooth anyway. And they showed off this thing at CES called, what's it called? It's a new Wi-Fi network that's meant for homes and the Internet of Things devices. So maybe they'll be leveraging that too. I don't know. It's just a rumor right now, but I wanted to just mention it. To movies, actual cinema stuff here. Big thing that happened this week, fucking huge. China's Wanda, which is like one of their biggest companies, acquired Legendary for $3.5 billion. Their press release called it a merger. Their CEO Toole remains a president of the studio, but he's an employee by description. Like, they try to explain how it works. It's as if he still has to work because he has stock options, but he doesn't own any stock.
He's got to answer to someone.
Yeah, he has to answer to someone, and he doesn't own any stock anymore. So this is really interesting because, like, Legendary already had an arm of their production company called Legendary East, dedicated to just Asian audiences. They have a movie, I think, called, like, The Great Wall coming out later this year. And on top of that, Wanda owns AMC theaters, and they have for over a year now. So I have to imagine maybe Legendary, since they don't have distribution, but they own a distributor, or not a distributor, but an exhibitor. Maybe they can bypass their deals with Universal and Warner's and just put their own movies out in AMC theaters or something. Like a vertical integration, or is that too monopolistic? Would we not support something like that?
I don't know. I mean, this is what's really scary about it, and I sort of hesitate. I don't think it's xenophobic to say, but this is definitely the Chinese film industry starting to have a huge pull and a huge influence over Hollywood, like a direct influence, and it's scary because they're
booming.
Film censorship there, that is a thing. The having a stronghold on deciding what gets put out there, like in this country, that's just kind of scary. But at the light side of this argument was that now Pacific Rim 2 is more likely to happen. Yeah, I don't know if you're going to get to that later.
Yeah, I was going to say, like,
Guillermo del Toro was saying, well, it's not done yet. Coincidentally, just
like minutes. After this happened. It was minutes before, I believe. Yeah, he tweeted that the film's not dead. And then Slash Film pointed out that Chinese audiences, how they reacted to the first one, was a reason for the sequel to get greenlit in the first place.
I mean, that was the whole reason why it was. People were thinking it was going
to made
happen.
Like 70 million here, but it made like 110 in Asia.
100 here, I think.
Right? It was about the same, if not more, in Asian markets. So yeah, I have to imagine that they would want to do that now. It's like their biggest movie of the past year, Monster Hunt, that's going to release here now. I don't know when. I'm curious if it's the biggest blockbuster of Chinese cinema history. I want to know what it is.
Have you seen the trailer for that?
No, I've seen the image, and I think it's one of those movies that if I saw the trailer, I probably wouldn't want to see it. I just want to go into it blindly, kind of like you with Field of Dreams. Just check it out. If it's bad, it's bad. If it's amazing, that's even better. It's nothing to lose sleep about, but I am curious. We'll see when that comes here, probably in the next couple of months or something.
Yeah, the image definitely has more of a cuteness factor to it, but that trailer is
scary.
It's weird. Different American sensibilities. I don't know. What do you want me to say?
Yeah, but I am curious as to how Legendary's agreements and partnerships with Warner Brothers and Universal is going to work now. As all, the big thing earlier last year was their shift of Godzilla from one to the other, and like that kind of stuff. And there's
also
superhero movies,
Warcraft.
Yeah. So none of these deals are going to fall through or anything, but I have to imagine that China's going to do what is in their best interest.
Definitely.
Or maybe try to get more productions happening over there like they did with Paramount for Transformers 4. Big TV thing here, well, the new TV anyway, Netflix. Matt Groening, the creator of Futurama and Simpsons, is set to bring 2 seasons of a new animated show to Netflix. That's huge. Like, we've, talked about Aziz Ansari and Judd Apatow and some other really big names, Spike Lee, Woody Allen doing the Amazon Netflix thing. But this is, like, the most recognizable animation artist in mainstream American television over the last 30 years going streaming. There's no details about it. The reason that there's 2 seasons is because animation, it's such a big commitment that it makes sense to do as much at once as possible. But I mean, there's already so many people with Netflix.
Yeah, and Netflix, though, they're really good at getting not just content, but also creators that make stuff that they know people want to see.
Yeah. I mean, Marvel, obviously.
Like Simpsons is obviously, all that stuff. It's really big, but
Top Gear is coming.
Their streaming numbers also says what's going to be huge, so they know what other people want.
Did you see that thing that NBC published earlier this month, or earlier this week rather, where they found a way to decipher Netflix's tracking numbers? There's something weird. Did you see this?
I saw something, kind of, it was, I saw a headline that had to do with what the Jessica Jones streaming numbers were that they were reporting.
Exactly.
And they claimed it was lower than, some of the other big stuff.
What was it? It was something really bizarre. I think what it was, no bullshit, was something like they leveraged the technology and smartphones that always listen to us, kind of like Siri and OK Google and that kind of stuff, as well as Facebook, to figure out, the listening time for services when they weren't using their Nielsen scan TVs or something like that. I don't know. It was pretty
way too flawed,
pretty creepy, Big Brother type stuff. But they got numbers, and
even then though, that's way too flawed.
Definitely. But they have
Nielsen
some
system,
kind of thing.
Yeah, the Nielsen system in and of itself is also an inaccurate system. That's really, really stupid.
We're gonna look. Do you want to watch TV for free? Yeah, sure. What's the catch? We're going to track exactly what you watch when you watch it, so we can put it on graphs. It's a weird system. It has to change.
You're going to represent 60,000 people.
Yeah, you're one household, and then they're going to cancel shows based on your viewing habits. It has to change. I have to imagine Netflix is going to have to show their numbers eventually. If for no other reason, because think about YouTube, how they have the charts where it's trending now, what's popular, that kind of stuff, and you'll watch the videos because of that reason. And they kind of already have that on Netflix. They have recent additions, new stuff.
They have control over that, though.
I think there has to be some transparency there to really attract more viewers or distributors.
Those numbers have to be creepy because the thing that's scary about that, and you mentioned Big Brother. This is probably a paranoid thought, but you could completely manipulate that system by putting up something that's total bullshit for selfish reasons, and if you have the power to claim that it's popular, and then other people will suddenly believe that that's popular, that's dangerous. I mean, for so many reasons.
They announced when they said Beast of No Nations was their
it's 33 million,
something like that. It was their most streamed original programming in the first week. And then when Ridiculous 6 came out, they said the same thing. And so they can just say this every single time, and there's no reason for us to disbelieve them, but they could be making up these numbers because no one has access to it. And the fact, we talked about this last week, that they're now in 130 countries, they can really fabricate this stuff. But let's keep on talking about them. They've already made their first Sundance acquisition before Park City's even open for business. It's the Ellen Page star Tallulah. It's about her playing a homeless character who abducts a baby and then goes home to her mother, played by Allison Janney, who foolishly believes that it's her granddaughter. It's written and directed by Sian Heder, who's a writer and producer on Orange is the New Black. So they already have some kind of relationship with the filmmaker here, and that's probably the reason why they were able to secure it before it even played. Is that even, I'm not going to say illegal, but isn't that changing the rules of the game? Is that even fair? Like, the whole idea of Sundance is it plays for the audience.
It's not the first time that's happened.
It's the first time that Netflix has ever done it.
Yeah, it's the first time Netflix has done it. I mean, what are they going to do? Are they going to suddenly put it up for streaming for everybody right after it premieres?
It'd be funny if they did that, but yeah, of course they're not.
That wouldn't be funny. That would be stupid. Everyone would be pissed off, and that would take away the entire point of film festivals.
No, but imagine if they did have it streaming before the people at Sundance saw it.
No, they would not do that before. That would really...
In the future.
It's screening and competition, too, I'm guessing, right?
I'm not sure. Probably is. I mean, it's Ellen Page, so I would assume. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, plus, if you put it up before, then why would people have an incentive to show up? Like, your screenings would be... I don't think it would be sold out at that point.
You went to see Beasts of No Nations in theaters when you have a Netflix account.
I did.
Like, you could have watched it at home. There's a lot of stuff to talk about Netflix. We're going to push it down to the further down the show. Big thing that you have more insight on me than I do here, 10 Cloverfield Lane. I've seen the trailer. I know for a fact you have, because it played before 13 Hours. But yeah, this was Dan Trachtenberg's Valencia. It was known as Bad Robot Project. JJ was involved, but now it's a secret blood relative to Matt Reeves' huge found footage movie from 2008. How did your crowd react to this trailer?
Okay, well, I saw it before 13 Hours.
Yeah.
And when you see 13 Hours on a Thursday night, right before it opens the next day in a packed theater in Southern California, close to Newport Beach, there's going to be a lot of older people that are definitely in the conservative crowd that have no idea what it is. So they didn't care. It was it was a quiet reaction. But for me...
You're freaking out?
And I was with a friend, too, when I saw it. When we saw, the first word that you see for the title is Cloverfield.
10.
So you just look at that and it's like, what?
There's no monster in this. They're in the ground.
Bad Robot logo's on there. Yeah, and then all of a sudden 10 and then Lane finally fades in. So
look at this cast.
It's clear at that moment that it is a sequel, or it's at least connected to that world, because you wouldn't hang it onto that word Cloverfield on purpose. That really tripped me out. And then I realized I saw the good Bad Robot logo, and I saw that John Goodman was in it. So in my mind, I was thinking, wait, isn't Dan Trachtenberg doing a movie
Valencia.
for them? And John Goodman's in it too. Oh, so this is
that movie.
Oh, that's cool.
It's coming out in 2 months.
So that tripped me out even more when you see Cloverfield on there.
This is opening the weekend before Batman vs. Superman.
I know.
That's crazy.
I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if it's going to do well.
It's Mary Elizabeth Winstead and John Gallagher Jr. I love them. I love John Goodman.
Yeah, Short Term 12.
No, Mary Elizabeth.
No, he was in Short Term 12.
Oh, yeah, no, I thought you were saying, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Yeah, he's also, he's on the Newsroom. He's great opposite Alison Pill on that show. Or was, rather, because it's over. But yeah, I don't know how
well this
will
do.
This is obviously a small budget.
I just know I want to see it.
If they were able to keep it a secret this long, it has to be a small budget, probably like in the 20 million range, 30 million. It seems like it's, just 3 people in the bunker, and then at the end... they get out and then they see the Cloverfield monster or something along those lines. I think it's going to be good. I hope it's good. Moving on, MGM. They're already looking at November 2017 date for a Creed follow-up. The rumor is that they're going to be doing the Godfather Part 2 stuff and have stuff happening before the film, or like earlier in the timeline and also after the Creed movie. So maybe Carl Weathers will return as Apollo and do stuff with Rocky in the movie. That's the rumor here. That would be really cool. Ryan Coogler is going to be an exec producer, not directing, because he's going to be busy helming Black Panther. It happened. Marvel finally confirmed it. It's coming January 16th, 2018. They got their black director for their black movie. Congrats.
Good. Well, hey, they got a good director.
They did get a good director.
They got someone whose sensibilities you can trust to make a good movie. It doesn't matter that he's black.
I think he's going to fight against the Marvel system. I don't know if he's a good fit for it, because look at his 2 movies already. Look at Fruitvale Station and now Creed. Like, it's about protagonists that fight against the system, and you can kind of see that he's probably the same way, and he's not outspoken. I just followed him on Twitter this week. He only has like 5 tweets, and they're mostly retweets. I hope it's a good fit for him. If it works for James Gunn, I have to imagine it'll work for him, because they're not the same person, but James Gunn is pretty wacky and pretty out there and pretty weird. And so if he's able...
Well, James Gunn gets the most freedom because even though he is in the MCU, his connectors...
he's outside of it. It's very...
His characters are a whole other galaxy away, so it's not like he has to be slavish to too much.
Yeah, this isn't Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
We'll see. I wish him nothing but the best of luck. Like I said, I hope it's a good fit, and I'm sure Creed will do fine without him. And I really hope that, he helps with the script or something to bring that same attitude he did to this one. And so we have a good 8th Rocky movie. Staying with Marvel for a while here, Wizard World was this week. The Russo brothers were on hand. They said that Infinity War might have as many as 67 characters. 67. If you add up all of the main characters from all the Marvel Cinematic Universe already, it only comes to like 35. And so you can throw in Spider-Man, that's like 36, Black Panther, and some of the new people that we know about. Where'd they get the other 25? Like, this is going to be a huge cast. Like, you could believe that Guardians of the Galaxy might be showing up. People from their Netflix shows might be showing up. Like, this is going to be a huge cast of characters. This is going to be an epic comic book movie because, I mean, they have been leading up to this for almost a decade now. By the time it comes out, it will have been a decade since the first Iron Man. So we'll see what happens.
They only teased Infinity Wars really with the end of the Avengers, so it's more like 6 years. But
yeah,
no,
but
I get what you mean. Like you know way more about this though than I do, so I cannot possibly imagine what that would mean for who's going to show up.
I don't know. I hope more people die because think about it. Robert Downey Jr. He commands such a high salary that they can't keep him around forever. And spoiler if you haven't seen Age of Ultron, but they kind of break up the Avengers in a certain way. There's going to be a restructuring over this Phase 3 of the MCU. But
also,
67.
I mean, Marvel's also a big casualty of like bringing upon that new cliche that I absolutely hate, which is killing characters
and
bringing them back.
Well, that's
to
all
life.
comic books. So there's only been a couple characters that never came back, and one of them, Jason Todd, came back like 4 years ago. So no one's safe, really. I mean, if Batgirl can get her legs back, anything can happen in comics. But I really want to see how they, like, who's gonna be in this movie. Like, we obviously know, Spider-Man's in Civil War later this year. But it's like, are they gonna do like Venom and Carnage and like just everyone gets a cameo? I guess like.
I don't know, yeah, if you keep forgetting about that, we're going to have a solo Spider-Man movie, and I don't know what that's going to be like.
I hope it's good. I mean,
Yeah,
we
too.
both seen Cop Car. I don't know how they imagined that would make for a good Spider-Man director, but he's good with kids.
It's a young director that made a hit at Sundance, and
he's good with kids.
He's got a cop car. It looks like he can do action. He's good with kids. He doesn't cost that much, right? Does it good. Bring him in.
Bring him in. We're Sony. We don't care.
Money.
Bring him in. But they were pretty right with Mark Webb, so give him some slack. We'll see what happens here. But like I said, stay with Marvel for a little bit longer here. Their Netflix
that's
stuff.
Marvel that has control over that decision.
Well, it's like it's 50-50.
Sony approves it,
Sony.
but come on, you know that they're letting Marvel do it.
I think for their Spider-Man movie, I think Sony's not going to be calling the shots, but they have control. They have like a majority, not majority, but they have more of a voice on
if
casting
they don't like
decisions.
something, they can say
they can veto it exactly. But it's still their movie; they're distributing it, not Disney. So it ends their money to Marvel's just helping them out to make it right. But yeah, staying with Marvel for a little bit longer here. Their Netflix stuff. Jessica Jones has just gotten a second season order. TCA was this week, the Television Critics Association. They met up. So a lot of stuff happened in TV. We'll be talking about later. But yeah, just Netflix for right now. I'm really happy about it. Obviously, Daredevil, its second season's only 2 months away. So I have to imagine that Iron Fist and Luke Cage are also going to get 2 seasons. Defenders probably 2 whenever that happens. No date on the second season Jessica Jones, but the way that they announced it is that there's a phone number on the Jessica Jones Twitter that you can call, and it's like, Alias Investigations, how can we help you? It's automated or something like that, or like it's talking about pending investigations. So cutesy viral marketing thing going on. On top of that, Netflix is also considering doing a Punisher spinoff starring Jon Bernthal, who has a big role in the second season of Daredevil.
Can we not just wait till the end of the second season to announce this stuff?
You gotta announce it now.
All right. Come on.
They did. They had to, I guess.
I know. Why did they do that?
It's interesting though if you think about it this way. Like their deal was originally, just one season of all these shows. Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and now, like I said, they're getting 2 seasons. They're probably going to do it for all of them. Punisher's going to spin off. Like it's fair game for anything. I know you haven't seen Jessica Jones, but there's another character on there that could have a bigger role in the things to come. So good for them. There's a ton of Marvel stuff out there now, not just in the film realm, but TV as well. And it's obviously working for Netflix. I'm a fan of the stuff that they've done so far, and most people that I've talked to are too. It's hard to find a defactor. It's not Iron Man 2 status. So I'm excited. These next couple of years for TV are obviously going to be huge, and I think Netflix, with the chances they're taking on lesser-known superhero properties, is a really good sign, because they could have just done something like, I don't know, like Black Widow, or not Black Widow, but Black Cat or something. I guess Sony owns the rights to that because it's a Spider-Man character, but you get what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
We obviously got to talk about the other side of the spectrum, because I don't really care about Marvel. So this past Monday anyway, marked the 50th anniversary of Adam West's Batman TV series. And to celebrate, LEGO announced that they are going to have play sets based on the show. Super cool. I might have to buy one of these. Like, there's like the Batmobile, the Bat Cave. I think there's a couple other things. I really hope there's something with a shark and how hard it is to get rid of a bomb some days. Super excited. So yeah, happy 50th anniversary, Adam West and Company. Word 2, don't leave him out. But yeah, DC's Cinematic Universe, lots of big announcements this week. Wonder Woman was confirmed by Chris Pine in an interview to be set during World War I. This was something that people were led to believe on the internet, just based on Wonder Woman's character and that she does
the set photo.
Yeah, and the set photo and stuff like that. But yeah, he verbally confirmed it. Really cool, just because there aren't many World War I set movies. It's always about the second one. So just think about the kind of technology they're going to have in the film, the set design, the costumes, what kind of cars they're going to have, all that kind of stuff. I kind of have an idea of where the story is going to go. There's been rumors, and they line up with what I think too. But yeah, that's really cool. So Steve Trevor said it, and it has to be true. I like that. Captain America, the first one, was World War II, and that was a fun movie.
Yeah.
I think that this is going to be a lot different just by how World War I came to be. There wasn't really a bad guy or a good guy. It was just an atrocity.
It was all Germany's fault. We know that.
Well, of course it was.
Well, that's the consensus, for both World
for
Wars.
Every war. It's like
Syria,
also, Germany.
It is nice to see something that is more focused on World War I, because in America, we know why World War II is a big deal.
Because we won.
But World War I is something we rarely see on film.
Who knows the last time it happened? Like what, Farewell to Arms or something? Or I'm sure there was more movies like in the 50s, because they didn't.
The beginning of Benjamin Button, maybe.
Maybe there's got to
Gallipoli.
There's got to be a couple of movies, but yeah, it's not World War II where there's just an oversaturation in all media, whether that's video games or movies or novelizations or zombie stuff or whatever. Like, the reason Call of Duty is all scientific now is because all of their games were based around World War II, and people got fed up with it, and now they're asking for it to go back.
It's so much easier to vilify the Nazis, make them hyper real, and make them zombies and shit, or
make them Red Skull
to the SS. Things like this. It's just fun to vilify the Nazi part.
I really hope.
You know what? Just real quick, actually, a great World War I film that just came to mind. Joyeux Noël. You've seen it?
No.
Oh God, at the cinema.
There you go. It's your choice.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what it is though, right?
No.
Oh, that's the one where they have a ceasefire on Christmas Eve.
Oh,
you heard of it?
Yeah, I've heard of this. Yeah, I've heard the story where they get out of the trenches and they're playing soccer, and it just
they all just get along.
Yeah, they all get along, and then
anecdotes
Christmas
and
is
stuff,
over, and they get back in the trenches and they kill each other.
Yeah,
I didn't know they
it's
made a
great
movie about that. It sounds good.
Oh yeah, no, it was. I don't know if it won the Oscar, but it was nominated for a foreign film the year that came out, 2005.
I'll have to check that out. Cool.
Yeah, it's so good.
Back to DC for a little bit. Amber Heard, she might be Jason Momoa's love interest, Mera, Queen of Atlantis, in his Aquaman movie, and she might also appear as soon as the first Justice League movie, which is just next November. It's around the corner. So, yay, I don't really know what to say about this. It was just something that happened. Something else happened is, like, they casted Hippolyta, Wonder Woman's mother, but that's less important because the name didn't matter. But yeah, Amber Heard opposite Jason Momoa, that should be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
She's pretty teeny, and he's pretty big. He's called Drogo.
Khaleesi.
But yeah, Khaleesi, exactly. He worked on Game of Thrones, so it might work here
Yep.
too. I can't wait to... I mean, I know you already have, but I can't wait to see how he plays Arthur Curry. I can't... Because he's a brooding character. Like, you know, he's called Drogo. He did a pretty okay Conan. I'm curious to see what he's like when he's actually saying things. And also playing a character that is just the butt of jokes since, like, the 70s because he wears orange and green and can talk to dolphins. But yeah, I'm excited. We'll see what happens. Also, big tentpole movie things. Disney announced their shortlist for the young Han Solo movie this week, which I believe is a bedtime story film, anthology style. But yeah, the list includes Ansel Elgort, Miles Teller, Dave Franco, Logan Lerman, Scott Eastwood, and also Emery Cohen, who I really liked in Brooklyn. I don't see any of them really having the charisma.
Well, it's funny. You see them, like, I got the same problem too. It's like I could see that they could pull it off and be good leads, but you know,
but they'd
it's
be
Han
doing
Solo,
a Harrison Ford. They wouldn't be doing Harrison Ford.
It's so hard to imagine because the mind is just so ingrained that it has to be Han Solo. Like, I would hate to be the casting director on that film right now. Like,
right. Apparently, the reason why they've already put the shortlist out online is because they're rushing to have this actor as a cameo in Rogue One, Star Wars story, which makes sense because if it takes time, if the time period where you're stealing the Death Star plans, then you could potentially run across a smuggler.
There,
yeah, or
I
maybe
mean, it's more than that, though. You know, they're putting it out because they want to see how people are reacting naturally. But I just go with an unknown. I'm sure that would be more interesting. It probably won't happen, but that's what I would
maybe.
like.
I mean, my pick is Anthony Gruber. You don't know the name. He has some YouTube videos. You can check him out. But he played a really good young Harrison Ford in Age of Adeline. That was probably like the best part of that movie, really. Like really convincing, like looked just like him. And like I said, he has these YouTube videos where he's doing impressions. And if he had some more, you know, makeup and wardrobe and a dialect coach, like if they're going for the looks just like him could be him route, then maybe. And he is a fairly unknown, so that'd be interesting. More so, I would hate Miles Teller in the role, just being honest. As much as I like him, that just seems like a misfire.
I can't see it. No.
Logan Lerman maybe,
it just seems
but
like too douchey of a Harrison Ford. Like I can't do it. No.
I disagree with him being a douchebag. I mean, have you?
No, he would. It
you've
would
seen
just
the
make
Footloose
he would
remake,
seem more
right?
douchey.
Yeah,
though,
he would.
in
But
comparison.
like, everyone says that about him. But like in Footloose, he's a great character. Like playing Ren, not Ren. That's the main character. No, yeah, Ren. Yeah,
I don't know. But
I really liked
he
him in
plays
that
more
remake.
like, you know, a bit more of the simpleton. Like, you know, even though then in Whiplash he's more the insecure, shy guy. He's not the douchey.
Well, at the end of that movie, he
guy.
becomes a douchey guy.
I
mean, I think
not in
people
the way that you know him now.
people when they think of him think like Spectacular Now and the Divergent movies, and he's definitely a douchebag.
Well, no,
in all of
Divergent,
those.
he's just a fucking asshole. No, Spectacular Now, he's cocky, but I wouldn't say a douchebag.
Well, he's alcoholic.
Like, you could look at him
douchebag.
on the surface though and assume that he's that douchebag.
Whatever Disney does, I hope they pick the right one, and I'm sure we'll know in just like a month or so from now. And of course, you know, Philip Lord and Chris Miller have to approve of whoever they pick, or the other way around anyway. But I'm sure that they're looking at our perspective and they want something that they want to see, if that makes sense. But yeah, Disney's keeping busy. If Star Wars isn't enough, you know, they're basically rebooting that franchise, or at least interest in it. They're actually rebooting their very young Chronicles of Narnia series with the upcoming The Silver Chair. Because, you know, these movies didn't do that well. They didn't do bad, but I haven't seen any of them. I think I own The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I avoided those films for some reason.
Here's what I want to know this. Did they always have the rights?
I don't
Because
know.
the third one was Fox.
I think they got the rights from Walden Media a couple of years ago, and because it wasn't just the C.S. Lewis novels, there was also something else by Walden that they made. I can't remember what it is right now, but I think maybe Fox had a hand in it. I'm not sure. Like I said, I haven't seen these films myself, but Disney definitely does now, and they can buy anything.
Yeah,
So maybe they just got the rights from
do you
Fox.
want to see these films?
Not really, but I do know that the Silver Chair takes place decades after the Voyage of the Dawn Treader in the book, so that makes sense in terms of a reboot, because then they could recast the characters and it wouldn't be a big problem. Like I said, I don't think many people saw these movies. Like, maybe the first one, but
no one really cares. Honestly.
No one cares, because Lion, the Witch, and Wardrobe, it's a great novel, but people cared about it because Harry Potter wasn't out yet. There wasn't that really big property or series of books with fantasy elements that everyone loved yet for our generation. And
now the movies or the book?
The book, I mean, like the book series, because the movies too, I guess you could say. But yeah,
no, the movies were in 2005.
No. I mean, I'm saying, like the movies take that place too, but it's like we have more things now. Like, we have young adult fiction. I don't know. Maybe they're banking on international markets, or they got so much money, it doesn't matter anyway, I guess. Moving to more original film fare here. Warner Brothers is working on a treasure hunter franchise about a group that steals artifacts from museums and plans to grab the biggest treasures of all time. I like this idea. I hope they can do something along the lines of National Treasure. But then again...
That was just what came to mind.
Well, that too, but right now, Sony's working on their Uncharted movie. Disney might be bringing back Indiana Jones. So maybe Treasure Hunter's the next big thing on screen. So hopefully Warner's can get that out before the other studios does, so they don't seem like copycats and hurt their chances of success.
And that could be what their sequel to Point Break would be.
Yeah, who knows? No one saw that, right?
No.
Good. Other stuff. The writer behind Jason Bateman's Bad Words is working to adapt Action Movie Kid for Fox 2000. This is a web series and book about a kid that mimics his favorite action heroes to combat evil threats. I knew nothing about this before reading it. I saw some pictures. It looks really cool. It's like a kid using a lightsaber in a grocery store, like flying ships and stuff. If they can get the angle right, if they get the tone correct, it could be something really fun. Like maybe if it's explorers or time bandits, like if they go for that really whimsical, like very fun angle, it could be the right thing if they get the right direction. But it seems like a good idea, especially if Fox was able to make it a meta movie, incorporate their franchises, like let's say X-Men or something along those lines. Then they might have success on their hands. Like I said, they can't do Star Wars anymore, but this project would have been awesome 10 years ago. Sounds cool though. It's a kids movie, obviously, and it's better than, it is an adaptation, but at least it's something off the internet, so it's not widely known. You gotta remember, we have a Bat Kid Begins movie coming out sometime soon. Not the documentary that's already been released. An actual
that's a
film.
Different story. This sounds interesting. The kiddie angle is definitely there. I think the best thing, though, right now that I can say is at least this seems more like they're trying to be creative with it rather than to just pander to kids. So that's a good thing.
I would love if they had like a Last Action Hero-esque type thing going on. Obviously not trying to decipher or decode what makes an action movie good, but just that the kid that is doing these adventures is fully aware that it's him doing it, and he can change the rules on the fly. Something like, Scream does, like something fun like that Kevin Williamson is known for writing. Big movie here. The Jennifer Lawrence, Darren Aronofsky flick. The reason why she's not working with Richard Linklater anymore. It's moving forward at Paramount. Javier Bardem is circling it. No one really knows anything about it still, but I really could care less for her anymore. But I'm really excited to see what Aronofsky does next. I think it's. I mean, I know Joy's on your top 10 list. Just a plug here. Our best of the year list is available now. You can go listen to it online. But I don't
It
know.
just seems
It's
like she's getting a bad rap, and I don't know if it's overexposure or something.
I think it's
but
overexposure.
I don't see...
She's been nominated for what is it, like 4 Oscars before 25?
Well, I mean,
4.
She is that good. I would say she is the Meryl Streep of
No,
this
she's
generation,
not.
for
She's
sure.
too young. It's too early.
I would
like,
say it. No,
she's
it's been
just
5 years. And performances have been
I don't think
consistently
she's
great,
a
honestly.
bad actor. I really like her on screen. I just don't like her off screen. I think she needs to work on her attitude. We covered the Lenny letter she did earlier this year. There's obviously the jab that happened at the Golden Globes about her. There was my tweet about her and Amy Schumer. She's writing a screenplay with Amy Schumer about them being best friends. Like, she's like some golden youngster in Hollywood right now. And there's a lot of great young talent, and it doesn't seem like she plays well with others.
I don't know. I have not really focused on her off screen. Like, yeah, we did talk about that essay.
It's not fair that men don't get as much as women. I get way more money than every other woman in Hollywood.
There is a round table that the Hollywood Reporter did with actresses. I'm sure that got brought up. I'm sure that I want to see if there's a good response to that, because those tend to be really good.
People are coming out
really
of the woodwork to support her. Like, Anne Hathaway posted something about, like, leave her alone. Like, everyone can, whatever, like, support her stuff. The reason she wrote that essay was because she was reading the leaked Sony emails from the hack that happened a year ago. That was her basis for her argument. Why was she reading those emails? As a major
Everyone
player
read those emails, though.
I'm just saying, as a major player, you shouldn't be reading those and then using them as sources for your argument, like something to defend yourself against. You're not even being attacked, really. You're being attacked now.
Yeah, but if it's still, that's a weird ethical thing, because it's weird. Like, that wouldn't be the best source, but at the same time, when you find a problem with a system within those emails, then you have to bring it up. You got to raise attention to it. So. It's tough, but I can't criticize it.
We already are aware of the issue Hollywood has with equality, not just for the sexes, but in terms of race and age. But
this
Jennifer
is
Lawrence
directly happening behind the scenes. Like, it's something where we see from the outside and we observe it, and we're like, oh yeah, that needs to change. But when you see it happen, decisions being made for that specific reason, that's like, no, okay, not okay. That needs to change.
Like, it's good that, how young Jennifer Lawrence is, that she gets a lot of recognition, and she's a big box office draw, but she's, like, the only one, really, right now that's that young. It's not really anyone else.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think it's unearned either, necessarily. There hasn't been a movie that she's done where she hasn't been great in some form, honestly.
This is true, but
she really is that good. Like,
she is great. Even at the beginning of her career with Winter's Bone, like, she is, unparalleled talent for her age. Well, I don't know about that. Alison Brie's also really good. And they're, Alison Brie's only like a year or two older than she is. But I don't know. I feel like she's gonna peak very soon, and I think there's gonna be. Everyone's just going to come down on her, and it's going to be bad. I don't know. I got a bad feeling. We'll see. Guillermo del Toro, he's developing something new, and might also direct as well. The Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark series that all the kids loved in the 90s, and before that as well. He promises that the illustrations that are so famous from the works are going to be prominent in the film. I don't know if he's going to be directing this. That'd be really cool, though, because outside of Mimic, he's never really done straight-on horror, and it'd be fun to see what he can do for a younger audience. I think he'd be a perfect fit for this, because, he likes gothic stuff, he likes dark material, but I'd like to see actual scary stuff from him.
Yeah, but then there's also, like, a bit of a bright, whimsical element to it as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's ghost stories.
He's kind of like the... if he did this, he would be like the Walt Disney of horror directors in a weird way.
Well, that he...
Just leaning more towards the darker side.
He was supposed to do the rebooted Haunted Mansion movie. I still hope that happens. In the same way I've said this so many times, that Jon Favreau does the Magic Kingdom for Disney. Because they have like great ideas at their studio outside of just Marvel and Star Wars and all their big name stuff. Like their original, well, not original, but their in-house productions. But yeah, Guillermo del Toro, he's got a lot of stuff going on. Did you see that picture I retweeted him using virtual reality earlier this week?
You already asked me that. I've said
Did I?
yes. Yeah.
His face is priceless. It's so funny because every time I've let someone use my Google Cardboard, that's the exact same face they make. It's just like, whoa, like you can picture his voice in that picture. Last piece of directing news I got here for movies: Jake Kasdan. This is really weird. He's directing the Jumanji remake. He just signed on for this 2 days ago. Its release date is Christmas. Is this the epitome of a rush production? Having a director sign on
this year.
Yeah.
For this year.
Yes, 11 months from now. It is going to be released 11 months from now. And he's not a shabby director. Like, Orange County's good. He worked on Freaks and Geeks and Undeclared. Like, he has some quality stuff under his belt. But a major remake in less than 11 months? Just editing on a major production...
change, then yeah.
Yeah, editing alone on a major production needs at least 2 months. Writing a score, that's another month. Publicity, like there's so much, like I really hope they push the state. Or he's gonna go crazy.
I don't know what the budget would be for this. I mean,
could like 60?
They could do this, yeah, probably like 50, 60. So,
but even still, like this is
I don't know, but yeah, that's ridiculous.
A major.
Yeah.
It's not like a giant tentpole or anything, but it's a holiday movie of a well-known property. And the fact Robin Williams is dead, like that's got to bring more people to the theater to see what they do for one of his most beloved live-action films. I think it's just weird. I don't know why they wouldn't just scrap the project at this point, or push it like a year or something. Because it doesn't, like, I can't imagine. Why would you even sign on with less than 11 months for it?
The script must be really that good. I don't know.
It's a really good paycheck.
Who knows? Yeah. Well, I mean, there has to be something good there. I would like to believe that there has to be something.
Well, it's a great book, and it's, the first movie was really good, so I have to imagine that it would be good for them to be moving forward into production with it. But it's just, I feel sorry for the guy.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens.
His dad should have talked him out of it. Last piece of movie news I got here. Lots of people are joining this movie. Edward Norton, Michael Pena, and Naomi Harris are joining Will Smith and Helen Mirren in something called Collateral Beauty. It's about a New York City ad man who enters a downward spiral. It's going to be coming from New Line, directed by David Frankel, who you don't know the name of. We might know his stuff. Directed Devil Wears Prada and Marley and Me. That's a really good cast for something that I'd never heard about until this week. So we'll see. I'm sure we'll be hearing more about this soon. I'd like to see like a teaser trailer or something. Moving to TV, David Lynch is halfway done with the shoot for Twin Peaks. Showtime expects a premiere early next year. I'm really excited about this. Sheldon Finn is going to be coming back. It's like everyone is back. I really hope that this is the pinnacle of the reunion shows. Like, I'm not talking about
all the revivals and that stuff.
Yeah, like we're Fuller House, X-Files is this month. They already did 24, which we'll be talking about a little later. It's like everywhere this is happening, and to get David Lynch to direct the entire series and get the budget and that Showtime supporting it, and that he's already halfway done with the shoot. It's only it's probably going to be like a February show or something. So I'm really looking forward to this. Have you seen Twin Peaks?
No, I haven't.
I'd check it out.
I can't say I'm excited, but I don't know. I'm really just not feeling this revival stuff. I mean, when has it worked?
Well, I mean, there hasn't been enough of it to really point that it worked or didn't yet.
And so far, early reviews on X-Files, I think they've only sent out the first 2 episodes to critics, and that's it. Or maybe not even. I think maybe just the first one.
And they didn't like it.
Yeah, they wouldn't get more upon request, so that's not a good sign. Arrested Development was very underwhelming, and no one has done anything. So I just don't creatively. I just don't see this stuff being a good idea. I know people are excited, but I'm just I can't. Well,
maybe the idea.
We'll see.
if you,
I feel like it might disappoint quite a few people, though.
I don't think
I
this
just get that
will.
feeling.
I mean, Twin Peaks is so damn weird that it would be hard to make a bad product already, because you have to want to like it. Less so the first season. That like, if you don't know anything about this show, it's basically a primetime soap opera with really good casts and like interesting characters. But that's what it is. Like that they have like the same angles, the same pull-ins and close-ups and all that stuff, and the same weird small town family drama, except it has a supernatural element. And initially, it's about figuring out who killed someone's daughter in the town, and so it has that to pull you in, and it becomes more than that as the show goes on. So I don't know what they're going to be doing here. It would be really cool if they have like a high school reunion or something like that. But yeah, the David Lynch directed the Fire Walk with Me, the movie, and that's not good. Which David Bowie happens to be in, by the way, like for the opening 5 minutes or something like that. But yeah, I'm still looking forward to this, even if it sucks.
Oh, it's good, I guess, to hear that's going well, because I know there's been quite a few hurdles to get it done. With him leaving and then coming back, and
well, he left because they wouldn't give him the budget that he wanted,
and then getting it back. Yeah.
I promised earlier in the show that we'd be coming back to Netflix. I didn't lie. Here we go right now. Big block about it. They ordered a show called Haters Back Off, based on a YouTube personality, Miranda Sings. I saw like a video or two of hers. Really weird. She has like a ton of subscribers, over 1 million. So if you're a fan of hers, good for you. Not my cup of tea. But anyway, it's an 8-episode scripted series. It's the first time that there's been a step from one streaming entity to another. And this falls, right in line with Fox's sitcom starring a Vine star. There's a couple other things out there. There's like a superhero show. Like, I don't know. There's a lot, like, internet famous people are stepping in front of the camera more and more now. But this is interesting because she already has proven plays on a streaming network, like I said, and now she's moving to another one. And most people, I think, that watch YouTube on a regular basis probably have Netflix anyway. So it has like a built-in demographic. Maybe they have some kind of like maybe the pilot for each airs on both of them or something like that. Maybe they set something up with Google. Who knows? But this is interesting. It's like maybe more and more of this will come, because this isn't someone that just does like YouTube videos about makeup or anything. It's like she does weird stream of consciousness skits in a character, and so that character is getting her own show. So the groundwork in terms of character development and stuff like that was already done before they even came up with this. So that must have been a really weird call. I wonder how something like this even happens. Like, does a YouTube star even have an agent or a manager? It's just you, right?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
So it was like they sent her an email, hey, we're at Netflix. I'm Reed Hastings. Would you like to come to our network?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Knowing nothing about this, an interesting thought came up. It's called, Haters? What was it again?
Haters Back Off. And she announced that this is happening with a YouTube video titled, I'm Pregnant.
I'm already like, maybe it's the fact that people are so ingrained on hate watching, but I just hate, especially with like stuff like with Girls and Lena Dunham. It seems like, I don't know, people are just embracing being more obnoxious just for the sake of getting people to.
Oh no, yeah, this
hate
is
them. I really can't.
Very obnoxious. Like, you would turn it off. I try to watch as much of this video as possible, just the way she speaks. Plus, I don't like YouTube because the cutting style. It's really easy to be funny when all you do is cut out sections of your conversation.
Jump cut thing. It's where
exactly.
It just sounds like, I can't stand that.
I can't stand that. So I'm pretty sure that Netflix would probably. Well, I don't know. It's scripted, so maybe not. But I have a feeling like they would be using the same aesthetic, like maybe putting the camera in the bedroom and like filming her recording her videos on YouTube. I don't know. I don't plan to watch this. Maybe I'll see the first episode. Who knows?
I have a feeling here that what a lot of people say about how MTV styles have, how that's influenced filmmaking and storytelling for the worst.
Uh-huh.
I feel like this is what's going to happen for me. I'm going to be the old man going, fucking YouTube had to fucking ruin everything.
It did, though. Like, Because mine's not
But
so
see,
bad.
I like that MTV style, though. I'm
if
cool
you
with
film-
it, but that's because I grew up with it.
If you film something for 8 seconds and it's really funny and watch it over and over again, especially if it like leads into itself, like that's really creative filmmaking, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're on YouTube, it's not even real editing. It's literally trimming the, oh, that part wasn't funny. I messed up. I shouldn't have said that. Oops, take it out. No one's going to care. It's a jump cut. And they probably don't even know the name jump cut. It's like, it's just an edit.
Yeah.
Whatever. We can't make fun of them because they actually have listeners and a fan base. Staying with Netflix, like I said, they casted Neil Patrick Harris as Count Olaf in their series of Unfortunate Events series. Still no date on when that's happening. I think that's really bizarre casting.
That is weird. Have you read those books?
I read the first two and I saw the movie with Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I
can't
read all
see
of them
him
as a kid
at all.
I don't think I read the last one because I was too old for it. But no, I don't see.
I don't see, even with a lot of makeup. Neil Patrick Harris is a very energetic, very plucky kind of person, and even when he's doing Barney on How I Met Your Mother, it's still a certain way. It'd be interesting, I guess, to see him being really dark, because like the darkest I think I've seen him so far is him playing himself in Harold and Kumar. But sure, I mean, he has a big name. He's had some misses on TV lately with his variety show getting canceled. So hopefully this works. Like maybe you can surprise us. I'm sure if Netflix thinks that he's going to work, then there has to be some kind of reason behind it. But yeah, that's still a while off. Who knows? Maybe it will be this year, but I doubt it. They got so much stuff this year, it probably will be. Talking about stuff they got, here's some dates for just hand-selected things here. Judd Apatow's Love is premiering February 19th. Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt Season 2, April 15th. Grace and Frankie Season 2, May 6th. Orange is the New Black Season 4, I believe now, June 17th. And Baz Luhrmann's The Get Down premieres August 12th. So that's just a fraction of the stuff. In addition to Daredevil in 2 months and God knows what else, like 50 series this year. It's like every month now they got something new, which totally fits their style of programming since you're going to watch it all in like a week maximum. Like for people like me, it's like 1 day, 2 days. So
now they're really becoming, they're becoming more of original programmers as opposed to being that place where they have all the content that everyone else has made. Yeah, so that, and that's, it's like I said, like once Fox or CBS and all those other places, once they get the rights to they let the contracts with Netflix expire, then
get their stuff back.
Yeah, then Fox will have its own streaming service.
It's gonna be what happens. It's just
you're gonna
have.
Gonna be...
you already have apps for everyone. Like you can get a CBS app, Fox, FX Now. Like they already have this available. But the catch is that you can only
will basically
exactly
be a streaming package. Yeah.
Yeah.
The provider thing with Amazon. Yeah. Like I said, that's basically
the way it's going. Yeah. Because right now, like if you have these apps, like less so CBS and stuff, but like FX Now, Watch ESPN, ABC, or what's it called, like Disney Anywhere. If you have those, the way it works is they have to verify your cable package through the app itself. In the future, I have to imagine it's just going to be on your app store. You're just going to buy the app for, $10 a month like they do on Amazon, and then you can just get it directly from the horse's mouth. You can watch it live or you can watch it on demand. But yeah, it's kind of already the way it is with PlayStation Vue and Amazon, and it's just going to have to go forward from there. We've talked about this a lot in the past. I can't see the way cable and satellite is set up now lasting the next 5 years. By 2020, it's going to be all internet all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Which should be interesting. Just thinking about it, like if everyone's watching on the internet, then instead of having hashtags on Twitter, wouldn't there just be like a chat room on the side of the screen?
Yeah.
Who knows? Some TV...
I can see that happening, yeah.
Some TV programs with the hashtag show that the tweets on air too. So like maybe that's just going to be a thing. Like it's going to be a timeline on the bottom of your screen. Who knows? But yeah, Judd Apatow's Love. I know nothing about this. Are you looking forward to it? Do you know anything?
Well, all you have to do is say Judd Apatow and I'm there. You know that.
I know that, yeah.
I am going to at least, if I don't... I'll at least watch the first couple episodes, and if I want to continue, I'll keep going from there. So we'll see.
It's a month from now, so it's literally around the corner. He at the TCA, he was doing an interview People asked him like, "Oh, are you gonna bring back Freaks and Geeks or Undeclared?" And he was like, real. Like he didn't say much about those, but he was talking about some other show that it was kind of like Curb Your Enthusiasm that he pitched in like 2001. But I can't see why not. I mean, he's already obviously had success at HBO with Girls.
I wouldn't do it. No.
He's doing this show.
I wouldn't bring back Freaks or Geeks or Undeclared specifically because everyone's old now. Like,
No, I don't.
Can't do it.
I don't think that's what people are asking. Not that way. Like, obviously, the budget alone for TV would be way too much with James Franco and Jason Segel and Linda Cardellini. Like that. No, that's crazy. But like the same kind of premise, but an actual run. Because you've seen Freaks and Geeks, right? It just ends.
Yeah.
There's no and it works well because as a series finale,
closure. Yeah.
As a series finale, it kind of works, but you've spent the last
just ends.
Yeah, but Undeclared was okay because it was a 30-minute sitcom, whereas this is an hour drama where you're learning all about this family and the Weirs and trying to get into all this. And I mean, for you and I, it's like, well, we know it's going to end anyway. But definitely feels like a punch in the balls. You're like, oh man, can't believe what's gonna happen. She's going to the concert. Is she gonna have a good time? Oh no, she's gonna become Velma in a couple years. So actual TV here. I got a couple things before we end our show. Ava DuVernay, her next thing, she passed in Black Panther. Good going again, Ryan Coogler. She's making a TV show for OWN. If you don't know what that is, that's Oprah Winfrey's network. It's going to be titled Queen Sugar. It's about a sugarcane plantation. She's writing, directing, exec producing. It's going to be starring Regina Wesley, best known as playing Tara from True Blood, and Oprah is going to be playing a role in the show as well. I think this is a huge step backwards for someone that's, best known for directing Selma.
It's for me, no, the exact opposite. She passed on Black Panther specifically because she saw what they were doing, and she straight up said it just wouldn't have worked, and she would rather do something for her own. So I applaud her for that. If this is what that is, that she's doing her own thing, and honestly, that's all you need. I mean, she's got Oprah backing her up, obviously, and that was the same with Selma, but. Props to her. Seriously, if that's what this is, I can't. I mean, I don't think I'm the audience for it, but I definitely applaud her for doing it.
I mean, she's taking a risk, but the fact that it's on OWN with Oprah starring a black actress, it's kind of like she's making her own niche for her. I get it, as a woman of color. Telling stories that not only you can relate to, but a certain demographic can as well. It makes sense. I just hope that she doesn't become like the female Tyler Perry. I would like it if she made material that, a grand audience is watching, not people that subscribe to Oprah Winfrey's views and watch her cable network.
I could see that sort of being a slap in the face. I mean, the whole thing with now, getting fewer white male directors in Hollywood is you want minorities to prove that they can be just as accessible as opposed to, catering to their very own niche. And that's, in a way, that's too bad. But, at the same time, hey, if this is what she wants to do, then as a filmmaker, I have to respect
I'm interested.
that,
I really like Regina Wesley on True Blood. I watched the whole run of that show. She had a powerful character in the first couple seasons, and then it got worse and worse. Like, there's an arc where she's an MMA fighter for, a couple episodes, and then she becomes a vampire, and then it gets really, really weird. But that first season, there's some really good stuff, so if she's written really well, this is if I remember correctly, it's about her returning home to work on her family sugarcane plantation, and kind of it's like a family drama mixed in with business and who knows what else. I'm sure there's also going to be race relations in the South and things like that. So it might be good. It's just when I think of Ava DuVernay, I don't think of Selma. I didn't like that movie. I think of what's the name of the movie? Oh shit. I just lost it. It's a documentary. This Is a Life. It's about LA's hip hop culture in the early '90s, and I saw that way before I knew who she was. Years ago, I think it was 2009, 2010, and I loved it. It was really, really great, and I hope she goes back to personal stories like that or things about her area, the country. I don't know. I'm just saying, I hope that this show does well. I hope she gets back in behind the big camera. after this show if it is a success. Less risky stuff, more network things. 24 is getting a reboot without Jack Bauer. Fox is looking to make a person of color the star. They said black or Hispanic. The name of the show is 24 Legacy, and it's looking to be a 12-hour program instead of 24, like their redemption show, the whatchamacallit, the redemption show. That's the way to describe it. Have you ever watched 24?
I never have, and I've been told I have to.
I tried to watch it once, and it was like during college in the summer. We marathon the first season. We're like, we're gonna do it. And it's like actually in the 18 hours. I fell asleep. I couldn't do it. Like, only one guy stayed awake. Shout out to Critic if you're listening. It's an interesting concept. Like, real time story. It's basically imagine High Noon, but it's action. Whatever happens.
Yeah, the way I heard is that basically every single episode is like its own great little action movie, and that's been the pull-in for me.
It is. I don't know if
it gets better as the season goes on.
Streaming probably isn't as powerful because what they do during commercial breaks is they have like a countdown of the clock. So like each season is 24 hours, right? So there's 24 episodes. And so if you're watching it on Netflix, it's only 42 minutes. And so during the commercial breaks where there's that countdown, it like skips ahead 6 minutes. And you feel cheated, but then the show's weird too because they drive from like one side of LA to the other side in 2 minutes flat, and they take their action like elliptical cuts across the city and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a really good show, and a lot of people respond to it, and that's why it got the reunion quote unquote show that everyone's a fan of, the revamp stuff. So yeah, if this works for them, that's good because Fox has some pretty good content recently. But staying on Fox, they're doing Grease Live. I think this month. Down the line, they also have a Rocky Horror Picture Show live event. It's recorded beforehand, not actually live, but NBC stuff. But they just announced that Tim Curry has joined the cast to be the criminologist. If you haven't seen it, I don't think you have.
I have not.
He's the most iconic character in the film and also the Broadway production. He was on the original cast as Frankenfurter. But the criminologist is kind of like the narrator that puts things in motion. I have to imagine with it being on TV that he's going to be the one that talks during the commercial breaks and stuff like that. Just really cool that they got someone from the original show / movie to be involved. I hope they get a couple other people as well. We'll see. This isn't going to be on TV till fall. I might make it a debt to cinema because you really do have to see it. I'm not a fan of musicals per se.
I want to go to one of those screenings, honestly.
I don't think you should do it initially.
I think I should.
No, it's not. That's not a good environment for initial experience because no one that's at that show saw it for their first time at one of those shows. That's not how it works. You have to be a pretty interesting character to go to one of those. I went and saw one at the art theater when I was like 9, and it was just, back then I didn't even like it. I don't think I would like it now. You have to be either on drugs or drunk. You have to be cross-dressed or something. You have to be trying to have a really good time. I don't think it's a conducive experience for a first-time experience watching a movie. You wouldn't be able to watch it. You wouldn't be able to listen to anything. You would literally be having people shout all around you. Not just lyrics, but certain lines at the screen. But whatever. If you want to ruin a cult revered movie that way, that's your choice.
Well, I'm sure some people have probably gone in that way for the first time. Maybe that's
probably never saw it again after that too.
We'll see. I don't know.
We'll see. One last thing of TV news I got here. Hugh Hefner is getting his own miniseries. It's going to be called American Playboy. It'll be a hybrid docudrama. It's going to be both scripted content interspersed with material from the Playboy archives. If you don't know, he's had multiple photographers basically the entire time he's been running Playboy. So you're talking about 50 plus years of not just photos, but archival footage and documentary stuff. Plus, how many other people record stuff at parties now. But not just the photos, but also every magazine.
Yeah, and his entire life has been documented.
Exactly, yeah. So they're going to be using all this stuff from the archives to come up with the show. It sounds interesting, especially with the the way Playboy is changing things. They announced not too long ago that they're removing full nude from their magazines. I think we covered this like 4 months ago or something like that, or a little bit less. So maybe this is a way to keep them in the mind's eye. And it was also announced this week that Penthouse is no longer going to be doing print media to try to combat online pornography. Someone that, no matter what way you view Playboy and Hugh Hefner, it definitely changed the landscape of our culture, and probably world culture as well, with just like embracing the nude female woman, and then also the man with like stuff like Playgirl and whatever else happened after that. But yeah, I think it's time. Like he hasn't got a biopic. I wouldn't really call The People versus Larry Flynn one for the man behind Hustler, but sorta. So this show might be good. Maybe it'll be one of those things that surprises everyone. I can't remember what network it's on. If it is, in fact, it might be a cable thing. But I think it might be one of those sleeper hits that's worth keeping an eye out for.
Definitely.
Last thing I got here. I was going to talk about it last week. Not important. Some more stuff happened this week, so it became more so. Activision, who's been making a lot of big moves over the last month or so, they just acquired MLG, Major League Gaming, which is like the really big esports league. And they did this with the hopes of purchasing a TV station to create, in their own words, the ESPN of esports. This week, on Thursday, ESPN officially debuted their own esports coverage branch, and their press release said this is actual esports on ESPN. So I don't know what's going to happen there. It's really interesting. Esports is really big now. It's taken off. There's been conversation that it might be part of the Olympics in years to come. I don't know. I mean, Activision has so much money. They made their own TV studio not too long ago. All their big properties are going to be made into movies soon. They have the Warcraft movie a couple of months from now, even though that's not them, that's Legendary. But I don't know. I don't really know what to say about this. I don't watch esports myself, but I can totally understand why people are so interested in it. And so that might be a really interesting rivalry that Activision themselves has with the leader in worldwide sports. So Disney versus Activision, even though they kind of work together already. I'm curious. So thanks for listening. If you liked anything, you hated it, you want to tell us we're jerks because of things I said about Ava DuVernay or Jennifer Lawrence.
We're just bashing on YouTube stars
Sure.
that we really like.
You can do it.
I don't know. We're just not obnoxious enough for you.
Exactly. There's a lot of ways you can reach us. The easiest way is on Twitter itself, @DollarReviews. Also on Facebook, same name. If you want to send us an email, that'd be really awesome. dollars.review@gmail.com. We're all over the place personally as well. I'm on Twitter and Letterboxd @Brian Gillis. It's BRYONGILLIS. Steve is the same. It's S_MTX. We're all over the
try
place.
to be more preachy and self-important to get new audiences like on YouTube.
Just do it like we did on our Twitter page. Just follow every single person on the internet. You'll get followers. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week.